We talked about it over the weekend. I gave my thoughts on the Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte fight. The purse bid was won by Queensbury Frank Warren. Many feel that MTK Global and Bob Arum and Top Rank and ESPN were the secret behind the scenes funders of that fight, because people are like, damn, Frank Warren just got $41 million laying around. What is it? Tyson Fury supposed to get like a little over like what 29 to 32 million, and then Dillian Whyte around like 8 million or so. Looking like they're targeting April the 23rd, according to Top Rank on ESPN broadcast this week. Pay-per-view here in the States, okay, here's the thing. Pay-per-view here in the States, the price is $74.99, pretty much. That's like the benchmark. $69.99, but, that's pretty much like the price that they're charging. And when you buy a pay-per-view on ESPN Plus, you have to have ESPN. Like, you can't put it this way. From my understanding, and I've always had ESPN Plus, but people were complaining that you couldn't just pay for Shawn Porter versus Terrence Crawford versus Shawn Porter. You had to pay the ESPN Plus fee as well. So I guess what I'm saying is, for them to do Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte on pay-per-view here in the States, it's hard to believe that they're going to give us a discount on that fight from it not being $70+ because it's going to be a midday card here in the States. The fight will take place, the main event, they will be in the ring about between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. on a Saturday, right? It's April. So what's going on in April? NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, what other sporting events? I don't know. Over in the UK, their pay-per-views are about, $30 or so, 30 quid as they call it. I just don't see this being, and I hate talking about fighters' money these days and purses and all that. I just don't see this being the type of fight. I just don't see this being the type of fight where it's going to be like an international, like phenomenon. You see what I'm saying? Like where it's going to be, enough to charge pay-per-view here in the States. And, the only reason why I believe it's pay-per-view here in the States is because of money that was promised to Tyson Fury from ESPN Top Rank, not because this is a pay-per-view fight. The spectacle, the event is supposed to be Tyson Fury. I get all of that. But Tyson Fury versus a Dillian Whyte, and Dillian Whyte's not known here in the States, by the way. He may be known internationally, and yes, United States is not the world. I get all that, but he's not really like a known name where people are going to be like, in the supermarket, like they were with Fury versus Wilder. Like, yo, that heavyweight fight's happening tonight. The big Alabama dude, like Dillian Whyte don't move no numbers over here in the States. So for them to, be putting that on pay-per-view, and by the way, I don't pay attention to anything Bob Arum says anymore, regarding pay-per-view numbers. Respectfully, he's predicted that pay-per-views would do a certain amount of numbers, and us fans and media just look like, okay, all right, So personally, here in the States, at $70, I believe, that's pretty logical to think that they're going to charge us here in the States on ESPN Plus. $70 for Fury versus Whyte. 100,000 pay-per-view buys. Will they do like some big media thing over here in the States for Tyson Fury? The running date is supposed to be April the 23rd. Let me see if I can pull up some clips for you here so you can hear what ESPN was talking about the fight. It's going to be April the 23rd. Let's see here. Here we are. Listen in. Take your time out. Like the video. Please subscribe. This is from Top Ranks and ESPN's The State of Boxing. They were talking about it this weekend on the Robson Contecal versus Xavier Martinez card.
He doesn't need the 15 or 20 million. This is all about redemption. You've lost before in shocking fashion. You lost again to a guy who came up in weight. And, the mission should only be about retaining your title. So I think everything worked out the way it was supposed to. Let's see who wins on the Tyson Fury, Dillian Whyte side. Let's see if Joshua can redeem himself or if Usyk can defend the belts. And whoever wins out of that deserves the fight for the undisputed light heavyweight championship of the world.
Terrible businessman. I'm just going to let you know right now.
Anthony Joshua, you're saying?
Terrible businessman. Leave $15 million on the table. All you got to do is sit back, look pretty, be training, figuring out who you're going to have train you when that day comes. When that day comes, when Tyson Fury says, hey, I'm ready. I'm ready to fight now for the undisputed championship. Now he gets a shot at all the belts from Tyson Fury in Wembley, right?
Should Joshua just sit, if that happened to...
So let me tell you what they were talking about. Allegedly, the step-aside agreement was for Anthony Joshua to accept $15 million. And at the last minute, the rumors were going around that he wanted an extra $5 million, $20 million for him to step aside and not fight Alexander Usyk before it to be Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. Dillian Whyte has been quiet. We don't know what he was offered, but you got to think what Timothy Bradley is saying is this. That's a free $15 million right there. You see what I'm saying? And all you got to do is sit back and be like, all right, I'm just going to fight the winner of all of this at the end of it. Because he was still guaranteed and owed a shot against Alexander Usyk. You know, and it looks like from the outside looking in, what they're talking about is at the very last minute, everything was all done. And Joshua was like, you know what? No, I want some more. And Tyson Fury and his side was like, you know what? Fuck out of here. Nope. We're going and, you know, we're going to fight Dillian Whyte and give him his $8 million. So maybe that's why Dillian Whyte is pissed and not saying nothing, because Dillian Whyte was also going to get free money to step aside and whatever was going to happen with that, you know? No telling what his portion was going to be. But yeah, they're talking about it happening likely here. Let me see if I can find the clip for you. In April the 23rd, here it is right here, after they talked about Nico Ali Walsh.
Heavyweight champion of the world, Muhammad Ali, to the current news cycle that includes the lineal heavyweight champion of the world, Tyson Fury, because the WBC purse bid was won for the mandatory defense against Dillian Whyte. It comes in an all-time record, Dre, of over $41 million for a purse bid. So Tyson Fury, Dillian Whyte's going to be set for April 23rd. Bob Arum's publicly saying April 23rd in the UK. A lot of buzz that it's going to be Wembley Stadium. Few things here, Dre, but your takeaway, that means that the step-aside money was not accepted by Anthony Joshua. So you're going to get Joshua Usyk in a rematch instead of having undisputed unification of Usyk and Tyson Fury. Your reaction?
I think that's the way it was supposed to be from the beginning. You know, I think Anthony Joshua needs to go back and fight Alexander Usyk. That's who took his belts from him. And some would say, man, it's $15 million that he walked away with. This is a guy, and I'm not trying to pocket watch, this is public information, but he's made upwards of over $100 million, maybe $200 million, somewhere around there. It's a lot of M's, right? He doesn't need the 15 or 20 million. This is all about redemption. You've lost before in
Do you agree with Andre Ward? Like, you know, like I get what he's saying. It's like you made all the money in the world. You know, like go after your belt. Show you got some balls, you know? But that also is a lot of money to leave on the table. I don't know, you know, because Timothy Bradley's saying, listen, I wouldn't leave that much money. He's a bad businessman, you know, and fighters, that's, you know, 15 million just to, you know, and then you have to also think he's fighting Usyk again. Personally, I think he's going to lose to Usyk again. So it's like, you know, where do you go with that?